Okay, today I'm with Ben Hall here at the Wilson Street Art Gallery in Newtown to talk about his landscapes. Now before we go, I mean, the name Ben, were you named after the bushranger?
Well, that's a bit of a fake. My name's actually John, but I've been called Ben for so long.
Because of the bushranger, or?
Yeah, it was an Australian nickname.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, but I've had it for so long, I use it for painting.
Okay.
And I'm stuck with it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because I just mentioned that because I know that Ben Hall used to hang around Goulburn and Collector and hold up stage coaches and Cobb & Co coaches and
yeah. Well, that's lovely country, and as I was saying, my particular love is the area around the central west of New South Wales, which is not dissimilar in a way to Goulburn.
Around Dubbo, where you grew up?
Not so well. I grew up in Dubbo, but I don't have a great love affair with Dubbo.
Yeah.
And the country is getting a little flat and uninteresting there.
Yeah. I
think I like the country more between Molong and, say, Bathurst, which is more undulating.
And this work in front of us, that's inspired by country like that?
Well, to a lot of people it might seem like a tenuous link, but it is. This show is called Land Maps. But most of the things I do is kind of based on aerial views of the landscape.
Okay, yeah, right.
So I have lots of lines and subdivisions, and this has its origin in what you see when you look down on the earth.
From flying, your experience flying over that area, or imaginative flying?
Well, in my case, it's from both flying and photographs. Okay,
now Ben, we're now looking at a large-scale diptych, made of paint on acrylic on the left and metal. Can you explain the genesis of this particular work?
Well, once again, it's a landscape, but it's a sort of elongated thing with the painted panel on the left covered in lines which suggest movement and the movement of people or animals. A very strong linear centrepiece which gives the feeling of transit and movement. It could be a road or a river.
You don't like to nail it down too specific, do you?
Well, probably not. I mean,
you want to get the feeling or the...
Yeah, well, the lines, I mean, it's probably, that's a significant division, and it's repeated on the metal panel. And
did you find the metal panels first and then had the idea of contrasting with the paint?
Well, I think I had the two in mind at the one time, but it's totally dependent on finding something wonderful in a piece of metal. That's a sheer lottery. But the strong line through the centre divides it in two, and it's because it's a kind of a transit thing. It's probably, if I had to be specific, I'd probably say it was a road or a river.
Right.
But then it's bisecting the landscape. And another metal, although it's a piece of iron, to me the forms have very organic landscape sort of qualities.
The way it's rusted anyway, the way,
And these are paint only, no metal.
Right.
And the paint is quite thick.
Yeah, it's very seductive though. Even though it's still hot and still, some of the colours are beautiful. They're not meant to represent anything again, or?
It's in principle it's intended to be a landscape with the subdivisions and lines, and the coloured areas symbolise pieces in a landscape that stand out. Like it could be a dam or a hill with trees on it or whatever. But it's elements in the landscape.
Now this one's almost bare, and it's beautiful because it's so. I think of them as very solemn paintings because they're so still.
Right.
How come there's hardly any incident in this one?
Well, I guess that's an attempt to have something which relies more on texture and subtle sort of incident than anything strong.
Yeah.
So although there's not a lot happening in terms of major falls or anything, it's quite an intricate painting with lots of texture and again the lines, the divisions.
I think I've told you, because I grew up out near Canberra where there's a lot of bare, empty fields and paddocks. It's the same thing. You don't think it's a very interesting landscape until you're in the middle of it.
That's right. Yeah. And again, it's something I see something you're looking down on rather than across.
Come over here. We've got this is a really amazing piece of work. Here you've contrasted again. You've done a diptych, where you've contrasted metal, a pure piece of aluminium.
Yeah, that's aluminium.
Yeah, but you brushed it somehow, or?
Well, it's difficult to leave it just as it comes off the shelf. So it is sort of sandpaper or brushed.
Why do such a bold juxtaposition of materials?
That's just to give it, to take the sort of newness and gloss off it, and it also makes it shine parts.
And you punched holes here.
Yeah, that's just an attempt to make some lines and marks on it.
But why contrast it with the paint so boldly? What are you trying to achieve?
Well, it's probably a force of habit in a sense. For a long time I've used metal in paintings, and I've always liked the juxtaposition of metal and painted areas. Because in this one over here you had the organic rust married the organic sort of painting style. And here it's quite bold because it's quite kind of different. Yeah. And as I think I was saying, in the past, I would possibly, with a piece of metal like that, I may well have had a plainer piece of paint where there was less organic sort of stuff going on. But it's a contrast.
Yeah. It's a sweet piece. Yeah. Nice colour.
Well, that's a similar sort of thing, but no paint, no metal.
And here you've got the book matched pieces of wood, where you've opened up the grain.
I guess that's much more of a collage than a painting. It's got painted areas, metal areas, and the sliced timber.
Very popular. I see they're sold.
And they were never intended to, but they've ended up looking like some sort of winged creature.
Butterfly or moth. Moths have that browny colour, right? This one especially.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Well, that was again. I started off thinking they were landscaping forms, but they've turned out to be
biological.
Pretty butterfly-like.
Yeah, they are.
So that's not a bad thing.
Very bush butterflies or moths. Okay. Well, thank you, Ben.
Pleasure.
It's been a wonderful exhibition of very strong work, and good luck in the future.
Thanks very much.